What's up, everybody? I'm Corey.
And I'm Kelly. Thank y'all for tuning in to us and just, no.
I was laughing because I was looking at how big my head looks.
Okay, so something that has really been on my mind and it keeps coming to me. There's this scripture. It's we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with powers that are unseen. And it just keeps coming to me because we are really in a spiritual warfare. It's like lately I've been going to, for like the past few weeks, I've been going to this meditation on Wednesdays. Corey came with me a couple weeks ago. And it's a guided meditation with a few other people. And in it, like, he guides us into this sanctuary of peace, like to just sit with Christ. And since I've been doing it, I've just like, he talks about things and talks about the world, and just the busyness of it and everything. And I've been able to just really recognize and see how so many times, like, we just take this life so seriously. I mean, we really do. It's just, everything is so serious. We have to, like, make things happen. We have to figure everything out. We've got to, like, we just have so many wants and needs and just so much that we just want to make happen. And it's like sitting in that sanctuary in so much peace. It's like I just realized that there's just so much that's just not important that we think is so important. And as I catch myself getting wrapped up in stuff, I just bring myself back to that sanctuary of like surrender, and that God has just got it. And I just have been feeling so much peace in my life. Like, I don't have to make things happen, I don't have, things are going to unfold for my well-being. Like, everything is just perfect how it is. And it's just been helping me. And I see, as I sit there in that peace, I'm able to see and live in this world, but not be of this world. It's like I see things so spiritually, and it's becoming more and more so like that. And so I see whenever there's conflict, whenever things happen, I'm seeing things as it's spiritual warfare. It has nothing to do even with this world and this life. It's like we've been placed into this world, and it's like a game, and it's fun, and we get to have experiences, and we get to bump. It's like those games, pinball. It's like we're all just bumping into each other, and we're just having all these experiences, and it's just it's fun. It's hard. It's all of life. But it's like we can get really wrapped up in it and make it so important, and it's just not. Like, we're really here to learn about love, to learn how to love ourselves, how to love other people. I keep praying just to have eyes to see with love, ears to hear through love, and a voice, words to speak love to people and to myself. And as I think these things and I practice these things and I'm like doing these affirmations, it's changing my life. It's just helping me to see that truly our battles are not with one another. Our battles are with like those negative forces that have attached themselves to us and that love to get into conflict, that loves to get into contention, and just it loves anger and resentment and just all those heavy things. And so it's like whenever we are in communication with people and it starts, it's like it's not a battle between the two of us. It's like it's a battle between all the demons around us, and they're loving it. And so it's like if we can have eyes to see that and to understand that, and to bring ourselves back to, okay, let me hear differently, let me see differently, let me feel differently, so I can bring love to whatever's going on and get out of all just the world is just it's just a distraction. It really is such a distraction from really what God has placed us here to be, to just to become. I don't know. It's something that's just really been on my mind a lot lately, and I'm really grateful. And I think that the meditation, like just going to that meditation each week and I've only done it like 3 times, and it's really made a huge impact on me. And I'm really loving it. And this past week too, I've been very intentional during like a couple mornings, like 3 mornings, and I've noticed such a huge difference. I'll sit outside on my balcony, and I've been putting on like some worship music that just speaks about Jesus, and it gets my mind really focused on him and surrendering to him. And I just want so much to have the Spirit in my life, and to feel the Spirit, and to feel it guiding me. And I've been using essential oils that just help me to, I think of different things that just help me to connect, to help me to be better. And it really has been making such a huge difference in my life, because I've got some tornadoes. I've got a lot of stuff going on in my life, but I'm able to just sink into the sanctuary that I've been brought into, and it's made a huge difference in my life.
Yeah, that is a great meditation. First Baptist Church, Wednesday nights at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
If you live in this area, it's very powerful. You mentioned wrestling with God, and any time that we are wrestling and have that feeling of wanting to control things instead of turning it over to God and letting our lives, just that peace that we have when we stop wrestling. You know, David wrestled with God. You hear about so many people in the scriptures that wrestled with God, and it's like they just let it go and just give in, it's like everything is just so much better. And I love how this meditation guy calls it the sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just let go of all your thoughts and just commune with Jehovah. Be one with Jesus, Yeshua, God, whatever you want to call him. Whatever you want to call your higher power. You know, to take that time and to really just have communion, or whatever you want to call it. To be in that sanctuary of peace. It's a great place to be. And me and Kelly were talking, I completely forgot today. I got really wrapped up into some stuff and just have not even taken any time to let God guide my life today. And it's been an anxious day. But there was something else. Oh, your thoughts. The thoughts. What I loved, something else that he said, and you kind of went on to it for a second, but how often are our thoughts in control of us? You know, we get tripped up by our thoughts, or our thoughts are dragging us around throughout the day. It's so easy to let our thoughts be in control of us, instead of, you know, saying, where is my mind? What am I focused on? And it's so easy just to forget. And I did it today, like I was telling Kelly. It's so easy just to get so caught up in our mind and in our thoughts. How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Well, I'm 46 years old. My bills have always been paid, even through all the complete chaos that I have been through in my life, through everything we've talked about. I mean, we can throw it out again: mental illness, drug addiction, all the different things that Kelly and I have discussed on here. I mean, it's just, it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to forget all the work that we've done and get caught back up in our thoughts and worry about, what can I do to change something? No, I need to step back and say, how can I allow God, how can I allow Jesus to work in my life and give me peace today? It's easy to forget. Just so
every
quick,
single day.
so quick it can happen. It's 1:30, and I told Kelly, this is the first day that I did not wake up and start with prayer and get in my car and say, thank you, Heavenly Father, for allowing my car to crank my car up. I mean, it's like I have for quite a while now, every day, God has been like the constant in my life. But today I just completely went out there and have been, I've had a lot of worries and stress and anxiety. I haven't had much peace until we got in here and talked about it. So, yeah, that's a great topic. Our thoughts, wanting to fix things, forgetting it is a daily reprieve. That's what they call it in the 12-step program. A daily reprieve from whatever it is that we want to fix or we want to control. It's a daily reprieve to just give it to God and say, what can I do today?
And it makes you realize, you woke up and you didn't start your day the same. You started it in which started it in. And it just makes you realize how important it is, especially in recovery, to every single morning wake up with God on our mind. Wake up with just not ourselves, not what we want to do, but give it to Him. It's just so amazing because, it can happen just like that, especially with addictive minds. We can get sucked into some stuff fast. And with myself, it's a lot of codependent thinking because I've got a lot of people around me that I just want to help and I want to fix and I want to soothe and I want to comfort and I want to just be.
Like you can.
Right. Yeah. And it's common to understand what I can do, like what the Spirit wants me to do. And a lot of times it is just allowing other people to have the experience that they need to have with God. Not me jumping in and trying to play God, but we can comfort people because, that is what we, whenever we take upon ourselves Jesus Christ and we want to be like Him, He does comfort people. He does bring peace, but it's His peace. It's not the peace that I want you to have. It's the peace that He wants you to have. And He's going to help us to understand how to bring that to other people. But we have to be in the Spirit and we have to wake up. I crave it. It's the weirdest thing. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like I feel like a lot of times with recovery, because we started out this podcast thing. We started out with recovery, with addiction, with mental illness, with all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of turned into a lot more about Jesus Christ and about God and about love, because that is the natural. That is just what naturally happens. Recovery is a spiritual process. We are recovering our spirits. I don't know what I was gonna say something, but it totally lost. I lost the thought. But
it is a process, that's for sure.
It is, and I'm so grateful that that's what it was. It's we are addictive and we do get obsessed with things and we can get very fanatical with things. And I know a lot of people think that people in recovery, they just go from one addiction to another addiction, which is God or Jesus, and it's if I'm going to be addicted to something, I'm so grateful that it is God, that it is Jesus. Because that's what they want us to, we're supposed to be truly thirsting and seeking and just wanting that. And I'm coming into a place in my life lately, where it's like I just want to feel him. Like, I read a lot of stuff, and it's like people have experiences where they see Christ, they see Jesus, they have experiences and stuff. And I would love to have that in my life. I would love to be able to see him and actually physically see him. But but I realize that I don't have to, because my faith, it would not change anything. I would not know him more if I saw him in the flesh than I know him today in the spirit. And so I don't feel like I necessarily need to see him physically. I'm going to see him one day, whenever that day comes. But I'm so grateful that he has brought me into this experience, brought me to recovery, that he has opened my eyes. And something else that has been coming to me lately is, there's a verse in the scripture that talks about the moat and the beam, and the eye and everything. And I feel like I'm really coming to understand that in such a personal way, because as I continuously, I still got lots of wood in my eyes, but as I get that wood out of my eye, get that beam, whatever it is,
you're starting to see it in other people.
I'm starting to see, and it's not in a judgmental way, where I think that's what it is whenever it's in our eyes and we're trying to pull it out of other people's eyes, it's in a judgmental way. We want to fix things and fix people. But it's like, as we get it out of our eyes, we're able to see it in other people in such a compassionate, loving kind of way. And we're able to
be an example.
That. And also, yeah, it's more about being an example, but
or get sucked back into it.
No, it's not that. It's just being able to see it, and I think have compassion for people, and to be able to, if they want help with things, and sometimes it is important for us to bring to one another's awareness, like you and I sitting here talking about like your experience this morning. As you were sharing that with me, I was able to see very clearly what the situation was and what was going on, and so I think that's where it is, as we work on getting these things out of our own eyes. He just helps us to see things so more clearly, and then we're really truly able, and that's where it comes in, we're really truly able to help people, because as we're trying to help and fix and control things, that's coming from that codependent controlling behaviors. We're trying to fix other people while we just need to fix ourselves. Not even that we can fix ourselves. It's God helps us. But
that is a great topic, and we've discussed this a little bit, but sometimes we think that we've worked completely through something and that we've gotten it out of our lives, and then somebody does something and it's like I immediately believe that person did what I would have done, and all of a sudden I'm building up this resentment, and I'm thinking I'm just creating these stories in my head or whatever. And it's like, no, have I really let go of that within me? Have I let go of that manipulative behavior or the lying? Have I let go of those things? Because when I see it in somebody else, if it bothers me and I judge it, I really need to stop and say, have I really worked all the way through that? That's where a sponsor comes. Like us sitting here talking, we were able to work through that. That's where having somebody to talk to is just so important. No matter who a person is, no matter what a person's dealing with, to be able to talk with somebody, you can just learn so much about yourself. And I could have spent the rest of the day without seeing you, and I would have been way out there.
Oh yeah, by the end of the day. And then you would have woken up the next day, because we're fast. It gets us fast.
It goes really fast. So
And
just
you may have woken up tomorrow morning and prayed and did your thing, but you would have your mind would have been obsessing on, just how we get so addicted.
yeah, and the addictive thing. What am I addicted to? I, it's always one. Every day there's something that I become obsessed with. Most days. Some days it's getting 25 accounts done. It's like, that is not healthy. Just do 10 a day or something. And something that I thought about when you were talking, it's the consistency. It's the addiction. What you mentioned is swapping addictions. And I'm not judging this as right or wrong, because this saves a lot of people's lives. But a lot of people, you can go to any AA meeting anywhere at any time and see that guy or girl at that meeting, and it's like they go to 3, 4, 5 meetings a day, every day, and they've been clean for years. But that has become, and it's awesome. They have dedicated themselves to service, to helping other addicts. They'll pick up their phone at 2 a.m. and they'll be on a ride to go help somebody that's struggling. It is a beautiful thing. But,
but it can,
it can affect a lot of things. So it's about moderation in everything. I want to set aside a specific amount of, and it doesn't have to be an exact amount of time, but I want to set aside time to do the things that keep me connected to God. And, I'm not just getting lost like I've been for the last 8 hours,
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. And you brought me back to that center point where God was the focus, Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, and it's just so good to realize, wait, I've just that quick I can completely lose my connection with my higher power.
And that quick you can reconnect.
Just like that.
I mean,
get in here and talk, and I wanted to pray.
Yeah, it's so fast. It's so amazing.
That's the longest I've gone without speaking with my Heavenly Father. I don't know how long. Because it's just part of my day. It's part of what everything that works, everything that's not broken, I'm just grateful for it.
Relationships too, you were saying something about relationships and just how we're able to see so much about ourselves in relationships and in conversation. Yesterday I had, it's not like conflict, but sometimes whenever we get into conversations with people and there's a trigger happens, it can just get, you just know. We're all in relationships, so we know. I don't even have to explain it. But as the other person gets triggered, then we kind of get triggered. It creates something, and it keeps us from really being able to hear one another, and it just changes. It changes the whole conversation until we separate and come back later, and try it again. But I see these experiences as opportunities, because at the end of the day, I was thinking about the conversation that I was having with my husband, and I recognized that I lost patience. Like I became impatient, and I was not maybe as kind, or I was not speaking the love that I want to speak. I may have, whatever the situation was, I was just able to recognize within myself that I still have these patterns. I still have these ways of communicating with my husband in ways that we always have, that are just patterns. ways that I've learned, ways that he's learned, and we just continue to do it. But we had such a great opportunity yesterday because he saw it, I saw it. We were able to come together at the end of the day and be like, okay, this is, I recognize within myself I was doing this, and I apologize because I don't want to continue. You know, it's like we cannot grow together, we cannot move forward together if we're constantly battling the same issues that we just have for years and years and years. And so that's the beautiful thing about being in relationships as we are in recovery and as we're growing and improving. It's like we can see. We get these things out of our eyes and we can see more clearly. And as we bring God into everything and we're seeking Jesus and we're filling him in our lives, we just want to love our people. We just want to love ourselves and love our people. And if we're not feeling it, it's like we become so aware. Like I have just become so aware, and you know, and I thank God for the experiences. You know, even if we're caught up in triggers and it can be hard, it's those moments that we're able to see so clearly, and we can make different decisions. We can do things differently.
I love that. What I was thinking about while you were sharing that experience is the opposite side of that, when the Spirit is very strong in a church meeting or in a Bible study or wherever it is that a person goes for that spirituality. A person can be talking and everybody in the room could hear a completely different thing. They hear what is for them, and it brings them peace, because the Spirit brings peace. And if I'm struggling with something that's different than what you're struggling with, you're going to hear what you need to hear. The Spirit's going to talk to you, and that person might not have even said what they said to you because that person said what they said to me, right? And just the opposite. I was seeing two people fighting while you were sharing that experience. I was seeing two people fighting, and then one of the people just starting to talk in a different language, Chinese or gibberish. Blah, 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 blah.
Totally.
And the other person says, "No, I never did do that." It's like, you see? You're not listening to me. I am listening to you. Well, I just said, la, 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 la.
Right. Totally.
No, you didn't. You said I did this. It's like, okay, I did this on purpose. I recorded it just so you can see how chaotic it is. We hear what we want to hear, especially when the contention comes in and the fighting happens. I've had conversations, contentious conversations, where I know without a doubt I did not say certain things. But I also know without a doubt that the person that heard it could take a lie detector test and pass it because they heard it.
Right.
And it's
totally.
It is, communication is just so chaotic, or it is so beautiful. It depends on what we want to embrace. And
you saying that, it's like in the beginning when I said we're at warfare, it's a spiritual warfare, and it's like your demons and my demons are fighting, and you're saying
speaking
this
in
stuff,
tongues.
and it's like totally, and that's where so much miscommunication.
And you're
comes
hearing
in.
what you want to hear. I'm hearing what I want to hear, and it's not even making any sense. We're just both angry, and we slam the door, and we're
totally.
Or you become aware of that pattern.
Yes, because it's so unnecessary. It is so unnecessary. I mean, truly, every single one of us truly just want to feel love. We just want to be loved. We want to love our people. We don't want to be in conflict. We don't want to have arguments.
Especially with the people we're closest and love the most. I want to love everybody, but there's those in our inner circle, and those are the ones that we fight with. It's like, why? Because we see ourselves that we haven't forgiven ourselves for. We see our behaviors in the people we love the most, and we want Life is just too good to live in that.
It really is. And it just makes you, when you sink into that sanctuary, when you live, like, I just want to live in that. And as I start my day with Jesus, and I just feel him in my heart, and I go about my day, and I'm just like, anything I do, I just feel love. I'm just happy to be in the day. I have so much joy. Like, I have joy washing my dishes. I have joy in the store. I can stand, like yesterday, I went to Costco and I got a membership, and the guy was like, well, do you want the 4-hour rundown of everything or the 2-minute? And I was like, I'll take the 4-hour. I mean, I'm good. Like, what are, I'm just
whatever you need.
So good. I don't know. It's such a different kind of way to live, but I'm like, this is good. And like, if I just keep my eye on Jesus, if I just start my day with him, and I really, the amazing thing, okay, this is what it is. Jesus has gone from my mind to my heart. Jesus has always just been something like, I know him, I know the stories of him, I've learned about him, I've even experienced like forgiveness. I know Jesus, but it's different today because I've opened my heart to truly just surrender to him. Like, I want to be filled. I want to live in revelation. I want to live in the Spirit. I want to
be in his sanctuary.
Yes. And it's like, and we can walk through our day in a sanctuary. That's what is so incredible. And you realize as you do, the world is just such commotion, and it's just so unnecessary. And it's like, and as we learn to live in the sanctuary, we're able to be that peace, and we're able to walk into this world, and we're able to just walk and just be peace. We're able to be the peacemaker, not a peacekeeper, not trying to control the peace and make everyone peaceful, and but we're able to be a peacemaker. Yeah.
There's such a huge difference in being
Totally.
the peacekeeper and the peacemaker.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing it.
No.
Jesus
it
is doing
just
it
is
through us.
flowing through us because we're sitting in the sanctuary with him.
I love
just
Jesus
love
Christ too so much, and it's you and I both had this conversation, and we're coming up on the end, but Jesus Christ is the relationship I have with him is so personal, and it's such, like, he doesn't care about what I did yesterday. And that's something that took me 46 years to realize. He only cares about what I do right now. And, it's, it was somebody, maybe it was the meditation or somebody else that had mentioned it, but it's like, he already forgave me. When am I going to forgive myself? Because forgiveness is immediate from God. All he wants is our heart. Jesus already did his part. But when am I going to truly let go of the things that I've done, the ways that I've been, and truly forgive myself and let Jesus Christ guide my life and allow myself to follow in his steps, to follow him, to work to be more like him? And I love Jesus Christ. I love learning about him. I love doing things that he did when he lived on earth. And everything else, like all my other beliefs, I have a pretty strong testimony over a lot of things. But the only reason I have a testimony of those things is because they help me know Jesus Christ better. They bring me closer to Jesus Christ. And if anything out there, no matter where it comes from, meditation hasn't been taught very much in our church or in any Christian church. I mean, it's not been a really deep taught thing, but You go to the Buddhists, and I mean, they meditate. You sit and meditate the rest of their lives, you know. But meditation is so important. Jesus meditated. It's such a vital part of our lives, or it's such a vital part that I want to implement in my life, because it brings me closer to Jesus. So therefore, I have a testimony of meditation, because I feel closer to Jesus Christ, and I can sink into that sanctuary of peace and let go of all the worries and just grow closer to Christ. So.
One more thing too is, you know, Christ, he already won the battle. You know, that with the spiritual warfare that's going on around us, you know, it's like we tend to fight. We just want to like fight, but there's nothing to fight. Whenever you just sink into him, you just realize he's already won. There's nothing to fight anymore. And it's just amazing whenever it really clicks. Like, it's not a mind thing. We can say it. We can say he won the battle. He did all this. But when you can't. And it doesn't make a difference in your life until you actually feel it.
His peace.
There is no battle.
Yeah.
It's over. He won it. Now it's just up to us to just live as though we know that, you know, and just feel love. It just all comes back. That's the greatest thing that he's taught us, to love God, put him first as soon as we wake up, and follow in his footsteps.
Yeah. It's a beautiful day. I hope y'all are doing well. If you listened, thank you. We love y'all.
Yes, thank y'all. Bye, y'all.